Yeah.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. We have a huge AFC West showdown on Sunday night as the Kansas City Chiefs travel to take on the Las Vegas Raiders in our NFL Game of the Week, our second NFL Game of the Week so far this season. So today, guys, we are here to break down everything you need to know for this game and, of course, share our official prediction, who's going to walk away with a crucial division victory when it's all said and done. So once again, guys, welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. We're so glad you could join us today, our final video of the week before we jump back into college football on Sunday. As always, make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share our videos. And of course, check out everything down in the description below. We have so many exclusive offers and content down in the description. Go sign up for our expert picks over on thegridironexpert.com. Some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country. We're hitting nearly 60% of our bets over the last 5 weeks in college, hitting nearly 60% of our bets overall with NFL. If you haven't signed up for those yet, you're missing out. You're missing out big. You're also missing out big if you haven't signed up with MyBookie. Check out MyBookie, the link down in the description below, and use our promo code GRIDEXPERT, the promo code down in the description below, over on MyBookie, guys, because listen to this. They're doubling your first time deposit. So your first deposit that you put down, they are doubling that. And they are accepting any currency, plain currency, cryptocurrency, you name it, they're doing it. And they're doubling it if you use our promo code GRIDEXPERT over on their website. So they're doubling your funds, they're doubling your winnings. And I highly suggest you take our prediction from this game, one of the biggest games of the week in the NFL, and apply that over on MyBookie this weekend. Because I promise you guys, you are not going to regret it. You will not regret it. It's going to be an offer that you need to take advantage of now. One of the best betting sites in the country. Dare I say even the world. So go over there right now. Double those funds. And of course, as always, guys, bet anything, bet anywhere with MyBookie. Sign up and start winning today. So let's take a look, guys, at this AFC West matchup. We said it's huge, right? Well, this is why. The Chargers and the Raiders are tied at the top of the division at 5-3. Right below them, the Chiefs and the Broncos at 5-4. So it is anybody's game in the AFC West right now. Anybody can solely win the AFC West. We have a lot of football left to be played, but this is going to do a great job in helping the Chiefs or the Raiders gain a little separation there. Both teams are struggling a little bit, but in their own different way. The Chiefs obviously have been a major disappointment so far this year. 5-4, back above 500, but struggling mightily on the field, especially on offense. The Raiders struggling mightily off the field. A lot of off-field issues that have been really marred this season for the Raiders and what took a very promising start and has kind of seen it deteriorate a little bit. You lose your head coach in John Gruden. And then last week, obviously, the tragic news of the Henry Ruggs car accident that left a woman dead. Henry Ruggs in a fatal car accident that killed a woman after going 156 miles per hour, way over the legal limit for the alcohol you can have in your system. And of course, as we've said before, our thoughts and prayers are with him, but obviously with the family as well, and the family of the victim. So you have the Henry Ruggs incident, and then now you have the Damon Arnett incident, where the Raiders have just had to cut Arnett after some videos were shown with him with a gun, showing a gun, and threatening to take someone's life. So a lot of bad things happening out in Las Vegas right now, and you know, it's a bad thing to be going on for this program or for this organization that, again, had a very promising start to the season, but has now been marred by just a bunch of extracurriculars off the field that could have easily been preventable. But you look at this game now, guys. How are the Raiders going to respond to that? How are the Chiefs going to respond in terms of trying to get their season back on track? We'll take a look at the offense. The Chiefs, guys, are struggling. An offense that for the last few years under Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes was usually averaging well over 30 points per game is only averaging 24.6 points per game right now. Mahomes has thrown for over 2,500 yards. That's great, but he's thrown for 20 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. The interceptions is the key part there. Mahomes struggling mightily this year, a 2-to-1 interception ratio. Not something that we're very used to seeing from a quarterback for the last few years has been one of the best in the league. The Chiefs do have 2 300-yard rushers, though. So Mahomes, still a great quarterback. Still would want him on my team, 100%. But he's got some guys to take the load off of him a little bit. You've got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, obviously, and Darrell Williams, both of them rushing for over 300 yards, or at least 300 yards. But the Chiefs, outside of that, need more help in the pass-catching core. we know they have great players like Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, the speedy wide receiver and the star tight end. But the problem there is Hill and Kelce have combined for 11 of Mahomes' 20 passing touchdowns this year, and they have combined for a little over 1,400 yards of the 2,500 passing yards that Mahomes has thrown. So well over half of the passing yards that Mahomes has have come to just two receivers, to two pass catchers. And that's a bit of a problem. You've got to have other guys step up for the Chiefs. The question is, who's it going to be? You look at the Raiders. They're not much better offensively, but I think right now I would choose the Raiders offense over the Chiefs. That's kind of crazy to believe, right? The Raiders are averaging 24.5 points per game, but they're averaging 320.6 passing yards per game with Derek Carr. He's thrown for over 2,500 yards as well, nearly 2,600, 13 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. And again, this is going to be an interesting thing, guys, where Derek Carr, obviously they didn't have Henry Ruggs last week, as we know, in their 23-16 loss to the Giants, but how he continues to adapt and how he continues to find solid pass catchers outside of Darren Waller, their star tight end, outside of him, because really they didn't have any wide receivers to begin with. Hunter Renfrow, maybe, but they need more help outside of that. The Raiders are only averaging 89.4 rushing yards per game, but I will say that Josh Jacobs has played relatively well after coming back from his injury. He's yet to eclipse 100 rushing yards in a game this year, but he's consistent. He's rushed for over 280 yards on the year, had about 5 touchdowns on the year. He's playing well despite maybe the lower numbers, despite battling injuries all year, and the Raiders are going to continue to lean on him, not just on the ground, but obviously in the passing game as well. The biggest thing for Las Vegas going into this game is getting the ball in the end zone. I think that's going to be the biggest thing for them. They should have beat the Giants last week. The Raiders lost 23-16 to the Giants. They had a pick 6 from Derek Carr, so that's 7 points for the Giants already. And then they had 3 field goals. They were limited to 3 field goals deep in the Giants' territory. A couple 25-yarders and I think a 30-yarder in there as well. Those were opportunities where the Raiders should have been able to punch the ball in the end zone. They do that. Even with the pick 6, they win the game. So the Raiders have to limit the end zone woes. They have to get the ball over that goal line into the end zone, especially when you're playing a team like the Chiefs. When you look at the defense, I would say the defense is probably the main struggle for Kansas City so far this year. That and the offensive line. But the Kansas City Chiefs are allowing 270.1 passing yards per game and 121.8 rushing yards per game. But I will say this, while the numbers don't sound too great, and while the Chiefs definitely need improvement there, this is a defense that has slowly gotten better. Listen to these numbers. In the first 5 games, Kansas City allowed at least 29 points in every single game. At least 29 points in every game within their first 5 games. But since then, they've allowed no more than 27 points, that being a 27-3 loss to the Titans. And in 3 of the last 4 games, the most they've allowed is 17. Now, granted, in those 3 of those 4 games, they were against the Washington football team, the Giants, and a Packers team that did not have Aaron Rodgers. So they've played some inferior opponents lately. But still, maybe the defense is slowly starting to figure things out. Maybe they're slowly starting to piece things together. And they're hoping to continue to do that against a high-flying Raiders offense that, yes, despite all the off-field issues, despite losing a couple of games these last few weeks, obviously with Derek Carr under center, is still a threat to anybody. The Raiders' defense, I would say, statistically is a little bit better. The Raiders have not allowed a team to eclipse 28 points all year long. They have not allowed a team to eclipse 28 points all year long, and that 28 points was actually in a victory for the Raiders, defeating the Dolphins in overtime. The Raiders are allowing just 220.8 passing yards per game. Not a bad number. Hoping that continues for them against Patrick Mahomes, who you just never know. Has started slow, has struggled this year, but all it takes is one game to just light up a team, and very well could be this Sunday night. 220.8 passing yards per game. They are allowing 133.5 rushing yards per game. To me, that's the more concerning number than the passing game. It's still not a whole lot, but over 130 rushing yards per game in the NFL, with the way the game's going, with the way the game's being played, that's quite a bit. And the Raiders have to find a way to crack down on that and hopefully prevent Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Darrell Williams, someone like that. Even Patrick Mahomes, who has over 200 rushing yards this year, to torch them and get some big gains on the ground. The Raiders, though, the biggest thing I think you're going to look for on defense in this game is their pass rush. We talked earlier that the Chiefs' offensive line is an area of concern. They have allowed 17 sacks already this year. So Patrick Mahomes has been sacked 17 times. Well, the Raiders have 21 sacks so far this year, and they are led by Max Crosby, who leads the team with 5 sacks this season. Great pass rush from the Raiders so far, and that's going to be the key here. With the way the Chiefs are struggling, especially offensively, finding a way to create pressure on Patrick Mahomes, finding a way to force him into some bad throws, force him into second, third, and long situations. Yes, we know they can convert those, but obviously your odds are a little bit lower to convert those than some third and manageable, second and manageable. Finding a way to get in there, rattle Patrick Mahomes, force a few mistakes out of him, get him early, hit him early, is going to be key for the Raiders. And I believe they are able to do that with as poorly as the Chiefs' offensive line has been playing. So who is going to win this game out in Las Vegas, guys? Again, huge, huge, huge. It doesn't ruin either team's playoff hopes. It doesn't ruin anybody's division title hopes. There's a lot of football left to be played. But this is crucial considering how tight the race is among all four teams. This will allow one of them to get just a little bit of a leg up over one of their opponents in the division. So who's going to win? An emotional game, obviously, for the Raiders. Back home. First home game since everything's been happening. First home game since the Henry Ruggs incident, at least. The Chiefs desperately need a win. They've pieced together a few the last few weeks, but still, this will be a quality win for them. I wouldn't necessarily call an Aaron Rodgers-less Packers, a Washington football team, or a Giants a quality win per se. This would be a big one on the road. But I'm going to go with the Raiders. I believe this Raiders team, guys, is mentally tough enough to overcome a lot of the off-the-field issues they've endured over the last week, really about a week or so. I fully believe they have enough to overcome that. I have a lot of faith in Derek Carr. I have a lot of faith in the Las Vegas home crowd. We are forgetting, guys, that the Raiders have one of the most passionate fan bases in all of sports. And that's going to be on full display on primetime Sunday night football in a game that is huge for the division. So I'm going to take the Raiders here. It might be a bit of a risk, but I'm going to take the Raiders as slight underdogs for a team that, again, is mentally tough, is out there to prove something. And again, a team that should have won last week against the Giants anyways. If they win against the Giants, I think the Raiders are favored. I really do. So they're slight underdogs. We're taking them. The home crowd plays a big role. Derek Carr goes over Patrick Mahomes, takes down Patrick Mahomes, outplays him, because I'm still not buying the Chiefs just yet. And in a close game, last year's meeting, both of them were decided by one possession. We'll see another one-possession game this Sunday, but the Raiders get the win at home and take sole control of the AFC West, at least for now. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share our videos. And of course, check out everything down in the description below. Go sign up for our expert picks over on thegridironexpert.com. Again, they're some of the best spread picks in the country for one of the lowest prices in the country. If you haven't signed up for them yet, you are missing out. So jump on that and jump on MyBookie. Make sure to use our promo code GridExpert over at the link down in the description below for MyBookie. Again, they will double your first-time deposit. They will double your first-time deposit, but you have to use our link. So go sign up for them today. Again, doubling deposit equals doubling the winnings. You do not want to miss out on this offer, guys, because you're not going to find an offer like that anywhere else. So go sign up with MyBookie today. Bet anything. Bet anytime, bet anywhere with MyBookie, and start winning today. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.